Exceptional.
Inspiration. Phenomenal.
Genius.
King. Joy.
Wow.
He's just incredible to watch, and he's boss.
John Smith, a proud man, wearing his Football League hat, but presenting the Football League Championship trophy to his own Liverpool captain, Graham Souness. And now, the Liverpool players can give vent to their feelings.
And is it too high for Callaghan? No. Hunt! The goal! There's Roger Hunt.
After a night of French frustration in midweek, the Reds are back at Anfield today on this Remembrance Sunday. They face an opponent who arrive on Merseyside in fine form. The Bees are buzzing after 3 straight wins. It is Liverpool versus Brentford in the final game before the last international break of 2023. We've got all the build-up for you right here ahead of the 2 p.m. kickoff. You're welcome along to Matchday Live, and welcome to my guests, Phil Thompson and Jay Spearing. We'll get to today's game shortly. We'll bring you the team news. We'll also reflect on that match over in Toulouse. But first, let's do a little bit of reminiscing, because today marks 25 years since Gerard Houllier took sole charge of this football club, and along with Tomo, helped lead the Reds to 5 fabulous bits of silverware. Take us back, cast your mind back, Tomo. What was it like in those first few weeks, those first few months?
Well, the first day was a whirlwind day, because it was, you could go back just 24 hours and I was down at the pits, down at the bottom of Everton Valley with my ex-teammates looking to play in the Masters, which was just starting. So you can imagine I get a phone call from Peter Robinson. Where are you? What are you doing? Can you come to a meeting in the chairman's house? And I said, oh, do you want me to come up to the ground? No. Roy's resigned and Gerard Houllier taken over. So, not knowing what the role was, it was to go to the chairman's house, become assistant manager with Gerard Houllier. My first thing to David Moores was, how's Gerard feel about this? And he said, no, he wants to give this a go. So they wanted to keep that Liverpool connection there. So it was a whirlwind sort of 48 hours. But it was the start of a fantastic relationship, because there was this educated Frenchman who was very, very good with the media, very good talker, and the mad scouser who was going to have to rattle some cages. And that was one of the big things that they said in the meeting at the chairman's house. They wanted to bring back a bit of discipline, somebody who could stand up to the boys. We'd just come out of the back of the Spice Boy era, and they wanted somebody who could stand up to everybody. And of course, they didn't want Gerard to do that. He's got to try and win their trust. That was left to me. So it was nice, and I played along with that game. But it was wonderful. He was a wonderful man and fantastic. And I still feel that some Liverpool fans don't give him that credit that he deserved, because it was a difficult time when we came together. But I think everybody will remember 2001. Winning those trophies. It's a fantastic time, Mark, and to put the smiles back on people's face, winning silverware, first European trophy for 17 years. It was a memorable time, and Gerard Houllier did a lot for this football club.
You mentioned 2001. What for you made the difference that season to be able to keep going? Because it almost felt like the season just kept going, building and something else came up. Then something else came up, and the team just found a way to get through it all.
it's quite easy to say, you know, yeah, it was great, and we're talking about Gerard Houllier, but it was the players. We had a way of players. The players were tapping into it. Yes, we mightn't be as expansive as what everybody wanted, but that was us. We were searching to get there, to get back on that ladder. And for us to get that team together who just didn't know when they were beaten, which is one of the prized things. And that year, 2001, once we turned the year into 2001, the games kept coming. The semi-finals of the League Cup, the UEFA Cup was starting again, and we played some tough teams. So we were on that journey together, and you were preparing from a Saturday to a Tuesday or a Sunday to a Wednesday. And it was so it wasn't just the trophies we won. We finished third because it was only the top three who finished in the Champions League positions, and we did that down. And yes, we stumbled through a few of them. We remember the Arsenal game down in Cardiff, which we owned in the end. And it was Stefan Henshaw was saving them with his left hand, touching them round the post with his right. But we got there. So it was the most fantastic time. And as I say, first European trophy for about 16, 17 years. There was a generation of Liverpool fans. So this was, yes, down to Gerard Houllier, but it was the lads, the players who delivered week in, week out, twice a week. And it was a sensational end to the season.
Yeah, it was a brilliant spell. It reminded the fan base, as you mentioned, what it was like to win silverware, to win plenty of silverware too. That team had to get through games midweek, weekend. This team is having to do that just now. Stumble in this midweek as we return it back to the present day. And there's no sort of dressing it up. It wasn't the best performance over against Toulouse, Jay.
No, it wasn't. It was... I read Harvey Elliott's interview after the game, and he kind of said that it just felt like one of them nights where things just didn't seem to click from the minute get-go. We knew that Toulouse were going to sit back and relax and let us have all of the ball, which we did, but we just didn't seem to have that final cutting edge to break them down. Obviously, the home fixture was a lot more dominant, and we managed to get the 5 goals, but going away, we just didn't seem to be at it right the way from the off. And the players just seemed to, the passes were going wrong, we were passing balls out of play, we just didn't seem to be able to find that final cutting edge to really. But defensively as well, I think the boss mentioned it afterwards. He said defensively that we were off as well, and I totally agree. I didn't think we weren't tight, we weren't winning tackles, we weren't winning first or second balls, and Toulouse just got momentum, and they ended up winning the game quite comfortably. We had to go towards the end, and we nearly got ourselves back in it with Jarrell's goal, which was disallowed. But did we deserve to get anything from the game? I'd have to say on the night, I don't think so.
I don't think it was. When Jay's saying defensively, it doesn't just mean the back four. He means the midfield and the front, because what Jürgen was really disappointed in was the press, the counter press, and when we were losing it, we weren't. And I think Jay's quite right. We weren't at it, and I think that was the big thing. When you go into these games, and I've been there in these games, you know what it's going to be like. The atmosphere was incredible. You have to be prepared, and we didn't seem. It was as though we were taken aback by this incredible atmosphere. And dare I say it, a lot of the referees, if they're not experienced, so the Bulgarian referee, I don't think sort of took that on board. So it was a difficult one for the players. Any challenges, he was always late with the ball. Besides that, I think our attitude just wasn't right, and I think you've had that. And the worrying thing about it, we've had 3 games like that, Mark. We've had Bournemouth, and I know it's difficult because of the conditions, but Luton was like that. And this game was like that, and that's where the worry. And Jürgen, you could see the frustration against Toulouse, as though this is not right. And I wouldn't be surprised that not often he's probably tore into them, but I think there was a few home truths maybe come about after the game the other night.
We sort of need to separate things out, so you can't argue with the fact we're 8 points better off this season than we were at this stage last season. There's been a massive improvement. Great start to the season, but is Tom right? In as much as there has been a little bit of a wobble the last few games, and today's maybe a big game, just to making sure we get back on it and keep making sure that we don't undo the good start to the season going into this international break.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know the Luton game was a frustrating game, but we had a lot of the ball. We had chances that we could have killed the game off. And all right, every team in the Premier League will have a blip at some point in the season. Ours has just happened over the last week or so in the Luton game, and like Tom mentioned, the Bournemouth game, and then going into Toulouse. But this game now is a massive opportunity for us to get back on track just before the international break, because you don't want to go into an international break dwelling off the back of a draw or a loss at home. You want to go into it after a win, and then you've got a little break to get away, recharge, look at hopefully come back from international break with no injuries, and then give opportunities for lads to get fit, get people to come back into the squad, and then we fire again going into the Christmas period, which is always one of the busiest periods, which obviously Phil knows good.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That run after the break, up until the new year, it's hard work. It's across many competitions, and especially at the back end, there's big games right here.
Yeah, and it is. You know, you've got the United game and the Arsenal game, and so you've got to be. I've no doubts, Mark. Absolutely no doubts. We will turn up and we will perform in them. That's where the problem arises. I don't want us to slip back to as we were last year. Anfield's a fortress. But some of the lesser games, we found ourselves hard to get up for them, and that shouldn't be the case. And I thought we'd all eradicated that from our early form. You quite rightly said, this has been good. We don't want to lose that. That's why this game's massive. Because those games that are coming up are huge. Man City, Arsenal, Manchester United, they're massive games. And the lads will be ready. Let's be ready for this sort of game that we've got today.
Yeah, massive game here today. Let's get the details of the Liverpool side that lines up for it. Now, Peter McDowell has got our starting 11. Pete.
Yeah, thank you, gentlemen. Inside, where it's nice and dry, and it's a Premier League team in Liverpool now with their best start to a season since the year that they won the Premier League. 8 points better off than the point at which they were at this time last year, but a team that will really feel like they need a win going into the international break after the past couple of results that they had at Luton and, of course, in Europa League during the week. You know about the problems that they had, certainly in that midfield, and you look midfield with the likes of Gravenberch missing, also Curtis Jones with that low-grade hamstring problem that he's got, and the suspension also to Alexis McAllister. Add to that today that there's no Canate or Joe Gomez in that Liverpool squad for them either, so a side that shows quite a few changes from the week. The usual 7 from the Europa League and actually 4 from the team last out in the Premier League. Let's confirm that team for you in full then. So it's Alisson in goal, back 4 from right to left of Trent Alexander-Arnold, Joel Matip keeping his place in there as well, and Virgil van Dijk back after that bout of illness. Tsimikas will play at left back. They will want a clean sheet, Liverpool too, particularly after Toulouse and Luton. It was the 5th game on the bounce that they conceded first last weekend as well. So Endo, Cody Gakpo and Dominic Szoboszlai make up the midfield, and then it's a front line of Mo Salah, scored in every home game this season, 2 goals off 200 in the Premier League now as well, and scored against this opposition back in September and May. Darwin Núñez, who still causing chaos everywhere he goes, averaging a goal or assist every 73 minutes now for Liverpool. And Diogo Jota, who maybe has crept under the radar a little bit, 2 goals short of 50 for Liverpool in all competitions, played in all but 1 Premier League game this season, and that was because of suspension, completes that forward line. Young looking bench, Harvey Elliott on there as well, but also look out for number 98, Trey Nyoni. He's been training with the first team for quite a while now. He's just 16 years of age, only 1 appearance for the under-21s, but been a real star of the under-18s football so far this season, and want to make Tomo feel really old as well. Today marks the 25-year anniversary since Gerard Houllier took sole charge of Liverpool.
Oh, don't worry, Pete, we've already made him feel really old so far on the show. To the team news then, offensive, attacking, is that how we're looking at that? J4 forward players effectively, albeit probably Gakpo will play that a little bit deeper. Yeah,
we're not exactly sure how the front line will line up, but you'd normally expect Núñez to be down the middle, Salah off the right, Jota off the left, and maybe, like you mentioned, Gakpo just in behind, and it'd still have an opportunity for Endo just to sit in front of the back 2, back 3, with obviously Trent Alexander-Arnold rolling inside, and giving Dominic the opportunity to go and join in with Mo on the right. So it's an attacking team, because if you look at Brentford, we're expecting Brentford to come in and maybe sit off and maybe try and do us on a counter. So they'll be in a low back 5, maybe exactly like, well, probably like Toulouse. They'll sit in, they'll relax. They won't be too eager to come out and press us. They'll let us have the ball and probably try and do us on a counter.
Big responsibility on Endo today if Brentford break, as Jay suggests, as they did so effectively at Chelsea not that long ago.
Yeah, he is. I like him. And I think some of the fans, because of his price tag and that, have not really given him much chance. And I think he does bring a lot. He knows that position. He knows how to play it. So we have to trust in him. But it will be difficult because we don't really know where Gakpo's going to play. Will he play on the left of him and Szoboszlai on the right, or will Szoboszlai play in the middle with Endo? So it's going to be strange how we line up, but we will be reliant upon him to protect Virgil and Joel at the back, and it's just starting to team.
As Pete mentioned, Trey Naoni. As the rain comes down. The Brollies will be out soon, don't worry about it. Trey Naoni, as Pete mentioned, 16 years of age, on the bench for the first time for the senior side, has played in the Papa Johns recently, did pretty well. Yep. You're well placed, you're down at the academy. What can we expect? And what are your first impressions of that young man?
Trey's been fantastic since he's come in, with everything that was going on between the two clubs. He came into the club late. He probably come in, you're probably talking into August, maybe into September time before he joined up with the lads. But since he's come in, he's hit the ground running. He's been a revelation. His game understanding for such a young age is incredible. His weight of pass, everything about it. He's a really talented boy, and it was really nice that going down to AXA and being around and with him training with the first team, Virgil came out and said that he congratulated him on training with them. He said he's got a lot more to come, and he really liked him. And watching the under-18s against Middlesbrough as well, Virgil came out to watch and see where Trey was playing, and he was playing with the 21. So to have the captain of Liverpool Football Club coming to see where you are, how you're getting on, you've obviously caught the attention of the first team players. And listen, as long as he keeps his head down and keeps going, he's got a really bright future.
Is game intelligence good? Is that what stands out?
He's understanding of the game. We've given him a lot of responsibility when he's first come in. Even with him being 16, under 18 level, he stands out. He knows how the game should be played. He knows when to speed the game up, when to slow the game down, what pockets and positions to pick up to cause the opposition problems. And we've given him a licence to go and just enjoy himself and play. And for me, that's when Trey has been at his best. He's still got a long way to go, loads to improve, but he started really, really well. And listen, I'm absolutely delighted to see him involved in the first team today. Yeah,
it's brilliant to see another player getting an opportunity potential. And we've seen with Jurgen throughout his time here, he's unafraid to give young players a chance, and he knows when to give them a chance. Look at Jarell this season, how well he's responded to the opportunities afforded to him.
Well, Jarell's been absolutely fantastic, and you look at it, I'd seen him in the under-21s, in the under-18s down there, and you've seen this coolness about him. But there's other players who are equally as good in different positions, and they'll know more than anybody being involved with the lads. It's a great buzz for the academy to see them get just a step up. But at 16, it is quite unique to have that. And you're talking about game intelligence. You're like that. This boy's got a bit of a chance. It's down to him then, because they can go wayward. It's not all, oh, you think, oh, training with the first team, everything's going to be cool. There'll be peaks, there'll be troughs, and it's just how he comes through these. But for the boys to give everybody a lift, not just the kids themselves, but the staff, all the training staff, Alex Inglethorpe up there, it's a fantastic buzz for them.
Yeah, fantastic day for him. Let's see if he gets minutes through the course of the afternoon. John, we'll pause things just there. Before we head to a break, just time to remind you of what we've got coming up for you over the course of this afternoon. A live audio commentary of Liverpool versus Brentford is with you from 2 p.m. We'll also have analysis and exclusive post-match interviews and the match day reaction from 4:15. Later on, free highlights will be available to watch on Go from 6 before the full match is available on LFC TV and on LFC TV Go from midnight. And on Monday, look out for Inside Anfield. That'll be on YouTube and Facebook. OK, that's it from us here now. We're finished on our social channels for the moment. Thanks for joining us. But the build-up does continue on LFC TV and Go after the break. Details of how to subscribe on the official website, liverpoolfc.com/watch. For the rest of you watching Matchday Live, there's plenty more to come before kick-off, so stay with us. We're back with you guys in a couple of minutes' time. We'll see you soon.